Hey everybody, and welcome back to Cool Bike Projects. Great to see you again. Today I want to introduce you to a new project of mine. This is going to be my next bike packing bike. This is a 2019 Salsa Timberjack I picked over in Jackson Hole for relatively cheap. I got a couple modifications to make, so stick around and check things out. Thanks. All right, so a couple things about this bike I want to tell you real quick. Because of its age right here, this is actually a sweet spot for me. This is when 27.5-inch wheels were a little bit more accessible. I'm only 5'7", so a 29-inch wheel is helpful, but it takes away some of the playfulness that I like in a hardtail. This also has 2.8-inch tires, which are technically plus-size tires. When you air these down with some sealant inside of there, you can get a lot of give on the trail, even when the going gets rough. Now, I love the whole geometry of this bike, and in fact, this has an adjustable rear triangle where I can move that rear wheel forward and back a little bit. The issue I'm having is the bike's just a little bit too big for me. A little too tall in the front, and then up here, it has a stem that's about 80 millimeters in length. So a couple quick adjustments I'm gonna make to this. We're gonna switch out the handlebars to something a little bit more comfortable. I'm gonna switch out the cranks to something a little bit shorter in length. And then we'll have a shorter stem from 80 millimeter down to 50. So check this out. First things first, we'll be taking off this race face crankset and using it on another project. In the meantime, I'm going to be replacing this with a matching Shimano SLX crankset to match the drivetrain. These are 170 millimeter with a 30-tooth integrated chainring. I'll also be upgrading the bottom bracket with a matching 73 millimeter spindle to fit the frame. I've wanted to cut down the steer tube length for some time, and now that I have the correct stem and bars, I was able to mark this and cut it down about 3/4 of an inch. That meant I needed to replace the star nut on the inside. So I don't think of myself as a hoarder too much, but I am grateful to hold on to some parts like these extra star nuts. Just a word to the wise, before you ever cut down your stack height or your steer tube length, make sure you've really ridden the bike a number of times on trails and off trails to keep the height you want. You can always cut it down, but you can't get the height back. So stem height, I like this a lot. This went from around 80 back to about 50, I think. It's good. I like it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for a future video where we add a custom pannier rack and bags to match this Salsa Timberjack. We'll be having a couple rides coming up this season, and I look forward to sharing the adventures with you.